Hi guys, I have a slightly different video for you all today, and it's going to be about the perfumes I use the most whenever the BER months come. So September, October, November, December, you know the drill. But I have a lot of perfumes, and one way to make sure that I get to use all of them is to keep some for the summer or the rainy season and keep others for colder months such as this month, December, and well into January sometimes. So I have fragrances that I like to wear when I know the air conditioning is going to be really cold. There are fragrances I like to wear when it's a really hot and sticky day. So I thought I'd share with you my top 10 perfumes that I take out when the air is very cool or when the weather is very cold. I find that these fragrances lend themselves better to the chillier climate. I think the cold weather really makes these fragrances more wearable and not too cloying or not too heavy, and I'll explain a little bit about each of the fragrances as we go along. I'm by no means an expert, I just really love scents, and I'm going to try my best to describe them and maybe tell you if they last long on me. But for the most part, these are fragrances I would recommend if you're looking for perfumes to wear when it's cold outside or inside. So I'm going to start with the one that's hardest to pronounce, and this is Volutes by Diptyque. And I know the notes are tobacco, iris, opoponax, which is a kind of sweetened myrrh. It also has honey, so you wouldn't think those notes would go together, but it's quite an elegant fragrance. It's a little spicy at first, but if you're familiar with iris notes or tobacco notes, you might like this. This was just given to me, and the person who gave it to me said it didn't work for her. So you also have to think about your body chemistry when you're buying perfume. Sometimes it's going to smell good on someone, but not on you. But this happens to smell quite nice on me, and it also lasts really long. The first spray is a little heavy and a little startling. Since it's very spicy and it's kind of a natural scent because of the tobacco and the iris, you might be scared to wear it at first, but I've kind of warmed up to this fragrance already, and when I started wearing it inside like hotels or places with really cool air conditioning, that's when I really started to appreciate the notes. It's really well blended. I wouldn't say it's creamy. You can definitely get the tobacco and the iris together. For some reason, that's not a usual combination. But I like the coolness of the iris, and I like how the tobacco is a little bit heavy. So you could wear this under sweaters and still get wafts of it once in a while. It also smells really good on clothes, so if you're scared to smell like this too much, you can just spray it under your sweaters and knits, and it's just going to give you a really nice, huggable, fluffy smell. This next one is L'Absolu for Her by Narciso Rodriguez. I had the ADDICT, the Eau de Toilette, and the Eau de Parfum. I also have the regular Narciso, the black one. I've also tried the white one, but I don't own that. I also sold, I've only a couple of fragrances from Narciso Rodriguez, but they can either be too sharp or too sweet or too creamy or too soapy in the case of that other perfume that I sold because it just didn't work on me. This is a slightly stronger version of the Narciso perfume, the black one. But this also reminds me of the Eau de Toilette, the normal black bottle, which a lot of people either really like or really hate. I'm kind of in between, but when I wear this during the colder months, I like it a lot more. I wouldn't bring this out during the summer because it can give you a headache sometimes. So I only wear this when I'm wearing thick jackets or anything wool or knitted. I think it can make you smell very classy and elegant. I would recommend spraying this at least an hour before you leave the house or an hour before you're around a lot of people, just so you give it time to kind of, like, not really melt is not the word, to settle down on your skin and warm up a little bit more. So it's more like a skin scent rather than a perfume that engulfs everyone in a crowd. The next one is a perfume I've had for a long time, and this has also been around for a very long time. This is Dior ADDICT Eau de Parfum. And the notes are orange blossom, rose, vanilla, sandalwood, and tonka bean. I noticed that a lot of my perfumes have vanilla notes or tonka bean notes. I also have a lot of perfumes that have praline and honey, so I think I like kind of sweet gourmand perfumes, but this is a more grown-up scent. I wouldn't necessarily call this a gourmand fragrance. I find this perfume really strange. Sometimes I'll get a lot of the rose, but sometimes, like today, I'm getting more of the mandarin. I've never really smelled the silk tree flower or the night queen flower, mainly because I don't know what those things smell like. But you also get hints of the vanilla. It's definitely sweet, but not candy sweet. I'd go as far to say that it's quite a sexy fragrance, whatever that means, but definitely something you would wear during the evening. And when it's really cold, just by the bottle alone, it looks like something you'd wear on a gloomy day. You also can't stop sniffing it because it smells really good. Another one from the house of Dior is Midnight Poison. I have the regular Poison, I have Hypnotic Poison, but Midnight Poison is something I would wear if I weren't wearing my Dior ADDICT. This one has a more menthol feel to it, almost minty. It's creamier than the Dior ADDICT. I think it's because it doesn't have the orange blossom note. I will have to check. I don't really memorize all the notes in this. But this smells exactly like it looks. It smells like a velvety blue rose that only seems to bloom in the evening. It smells like midnight, if midnight had a smell. I don't know a lot of people who wear this fragrance, and quite honestly, it's a little hard to figure out. I know this would smell different on different people because it's a little complicated and complex, the scent, but something I really enjoy wearing. Now this one is from Yves Saint Laurent. This is Cinema. It's discontinued, so I'm really just saving the liquid that's left inside, and my bottle is really old. I gave it a good clean, but you can tell it's been loved and used very well. I really like this bottle too. This one I wore when I went to Australia one winter, so whenever I smell this, it just reminds me of all my thrift shopping that I did there. And funny story, so I packed a little too much in my luggage, like 2 kilos overweight, and then the girl at the counter said, "Oh wow, you smell so good, what is that?" And I just so happened to have a sampler of this in my pocket. I like to carry around carded samples instead of the perfume bottles when I travel, so I can always spritz whenever I feel like it. So I had that in my pocket, and I said, "Oh, it's this one. You can have it," because I have a lot of samples. And she was super happy, and I didn't notice she was already checking in my bag, so that went well. I didn't have to remove all the Tim Tams I bought. But yeah, I love this perfume. It also has vanilla in it, if I remember correctly. It's also a deep scent, so if you like stuff such as similar to this. Quite frankly, there's nothing like this so much in my collection. It's almost smoky, and again, another grown-up sweet scent. It's not really sweet, I'd say it's more smoky and more perfumey than I would normally go for. But since I was wearing it with lots of layers, I really enjoyed how smoky and deep this was. This next perfume is the, I'm not sure how you pronounce this, Elie Saab? Elie or Elie Saab Le Parfum Intense. There's the regular Le Parfum, and I went for the intense version, I think because What was different? I know there's a reason why I got the intense version over the regular Le Parfum, but according to Fragrantica, which is where I always research notes and perfumes, it's a white floral that is sweet and has honey, patchouli, and citrus. This really smells like orange and honey. It's a syrupy orange scent that almost reminds you of medicine, but in a good way. It's very candied, like a boozy, that's the word, it's a boozy, candied, orange, floral fragrance. You only get a sense that it's floral after the first whiff of the orange and the honey. The patchouli I don't get so much. I know my other perfume, the Miss Dior Cherie, what is that? One of my Miss Dior Cherie perfumes has patchouli, and that also has a slightly boozy smell to it, so maybe that's what the patchouli does. The perfume smells like it looks too. Honeyed and boozy, almost like rum. This one really lasts a long time, but it smells different after a few hours. It really just settles and becomes a skin scent. A rather soft skin scent at that, compared to the first spray where it's really just, hi, I'm perfume. I know the original Elie Saab perfume is something a lot of brides wear because it's very feminine and floral but strong. So I went for this one because it's a little sweeter and less floral. The next cold weather perfume I like to wear is this one by Hermes. This is the Eau de Merveille, just the regular Eau de Merveille. They have flankers. I have two of the variants of Eau de Merveille. I can't speak French, but I have two other flankers. This is the Eau de Toilette, and this smells like a orange chocolate biscuit. It's not sweet, but it gives you that dry orange biscuity feel. It also smells like the 80s for me. Okay, so according to Fragrantica, the Eau de Merveille for women is woody, it's fresh, spicy, citrus, aromatic, and it has amber too. I wouldn't say it's spicy, and I wouldn't say it's like a juicy citrus. It's just like orange blended into the batter. Quite a strange scent, but I really like it. It really smells like the 80s. This next one is Diamant by Fragonard. We got this from the actual museum or store in Paris. I have this one and the travel size, and I wore this throughout our stay in Paris. We were there for one more week when we went to the museum. When we got back from the museum, this is all I sprayed on clothes, on my bags, on my scarves. I just wanted this to be my Paris smell. It's so nice. And it smells really cold, which is why I think it works in cold weather. The notes are mandarin, orange and pepper, rose, jasmine, and plum, and the base is vanilla, musk, caramel, and patchouli. So a lot of the notes in this are notes I always go for, which is why I really like this fragrance. This also lasts for days on end. Just one spray is very strong. So if you don't want to offend people, I suggest maybe like the Narciso Rodriguez one, spraying it maybe an hour before you go outside, so you're just left with that nice creamy cold scent afterwards. But I would for sure buy this again. This is the Parfum. I know they also have the Eau de Toilette and the Eau de Parfum. I like to go for the Pure Parfum just because it just lasts so much longer and it's just so much creamier sometimes. Let me smell that again. It smells really cold. It's like when you ever do that when you turn on the air conditioner and you just put your nose there and smell that first blast of cold air. That sounds kind of weird, but that's what this smells like. It smells like the air conditioner. This next fragrance is something I really didn't think I would like based on experiences with 2 other fragrances in the collection, and it is the Maison Kirkdijan Oud Satin Mood. So the Oud collection has a couple of fragrances such as Cashmere Mood and Velvet Mood. I have a few samples from Maison Kirkdijan. This one I didn't touch for a long time just because it looks so scary in the bottle. It looks like poison. It's a deep plum color that looks like grape juice. I wore the Velvet Mood before. I also tried wearing the Cashmere Mood. If you are not used to oud scents, they will really give you headaches or make you feel a bit nauseous because of how strong they are. And don't get me wrong, they're such well-blended scents. But again, if you're quite new to fragrances and you're used to just maybe fresh scents or citrusy scents or maybe vanilla scents, these will really give your system quite a shock. So I was wary about trying the Satin Mood when I got it in the sampler pack, but I tried it one evening when it was a little colder and I was going to be inside a theater, I think. I just sprayed a tiny bit, and the whole evening I kept thinking, what smells nice? Like, I kept getting whiffs of something that smelled really good and sweet, and it took a few seconds for me to realize that it was this perfume. The notes in this are Bulgarian rose, benzoin, that's such a funny word, Turkish rose, violet, and vanilla, and oud, of course. Bulgarian rose is also one of the notes in my Dior Addict, and so is vanilla. So maybe that's why I like this fragrance. It's very sweet and heavy. If we had winters here, I would wear this in winter. I've also worn this during warmer months, and it's not so bad. It didn't give me any headaches, but in colder weather, that's when it really blossoms into something that smells just so cuddly and snuggly and nice. Now this last one is just a bonus because it's actually 2 fragrances, but I really like to layer fragrances, and when the colder months arrive, I think that's a good reason for me to mix perfumes and try to experiment with different scents. So sometimes I put these 2 together. This is Philosophy's Fresh Cream. This smells like milk. And then I have this one, which is my only bottle from Comptoir Pacifique. This is the Vanille Eau de Toilette. Let's not be pretentious here, you can't speak French. But yeah, this is just the regular vanilla scent from Comptoir Pacifique. It really smells more like coffee. It smells more like coffee than vanilla. It smells like cacao or like a fake chocolate syrup. I know that sounds bad, but it smells good. So yeah, let's just pretend this is a fake chocolate smell. So when you combine it with the milk and cream smell of Philosophy, you kind of smell like a latte in a really good way. You smell like a hot cup of chocolate when you wear these 2 together. This lasts longer than the fresh cream. You can also wear this alone if you just wanted to smell like milk, but these 2 together I really recommend doing if you are able to get your hands on both of them. I would say my top 3 picks are Diamant by Fragonard, Midnight Poison, just because it smells really cold, and it's a toss between Dior Addict and the Satin Mood, but I would go for the Maison Kirkdijan one, just because it feels a little more special. So I hope you enjoyed my very first fragrance video on this channel. I'm just trying it out. I really have a lot of content for perfume if anyone is interested in that. Of course, I have all my thrift hauls, but perfumes are really something I'm very passionate about and have been passionate about for many years. So if anyone wants to see more perfume videos, please do let me know. But yeah, thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you in the next video.